Hey guys, how's it going? This is Zero to Infinity from Kara Control, casting Game 2 of Team Simple Machine, aka Sassy Cats, versus Team EZG, Team aka It's Ogre. So let's go ahead and get this started right underway. We're going to start out with the first initial ban coming out from Team It's Ogre, which is going to be the Doom. Assuming from the last match they just barely had, they did not have a really good time going against the Doom with his ability to actually basically cancel out any of their heroes, which made it very difficult for them to get any team fights, which was it was actually pretty devastating in the last fight they had, along with the Life Stealer ban as well. We are seeing a Silencer come out as a ban from Team Simple Machine. Silencer is just a very annoying hero to lane against with, first off, and then his ability to completely change the whole momentum of team fights in favor for your team. It's just really great in those matchups. It makes it hard for teams to initiate or maybe even get a successful gank or whatever. It's also a really nice way to counter-initiate against a enemy team fight. So that's one thing that's generally being brought up there. We're also seeing Undying being banned again. I don't think we've had a single game that's been played where Undying has not been banned right off the bat. So I don't think we're going to be expecting any Undying to ever appear in this tournament. I would like to, but at this point, he's just such a strong hero. We don't expect anything to change. We are seeing a Death Prophet being picked up from Team It's Ogre. I would expect this Death Prophet to probably be played as a mid, just because she has a fairly strong lane presence in her ability to silence, cast a very nice I won't say necessarily nuke, but just a ton of damage that she could just burst out through lanes and farm very efficiently. And plus the cooldown is very quickly. And lastly, because of her ult, it makes it really easy for her to actually go through and push lanes as quickly as possible. And it being physical damage makes it very strong against heroes who are basically expecting to use a BKB to counter. In the meantime, we're seeing a line being picked up again from Team Simple Machine. As I mentioned before, the Lion's actually a really nice pick because of the ability to do a lot of disables, and I feel like in the last game I believe they actually had to drop canned peas because he might have had some network problems, which is probably the reason he wasn't really doing a whole lot towards the end of the game. But it did go in their favor. In the meantime, looks like Bristleback's being picked up as well. Bristleback's a absolute monster in the laning phase, especially as an offlaner, because he's so freaking tanky, plus his ability to basically stack more and more damage for himself and utilize his passives is going to be very helpful as well. Plus there's some new items that came out this patch that will be very great for Bristleback players, especially something called an Octarine Core. Octarine Core is actually going to decrease the amount of cooldown you have, increase your amount of regeneration, but more importantly it gives you life steal as well, which synergizes perfectly with the way Bristleback is played. In the meantime, I was actually seeing an Earthshaker being picked up from Team It's Ogre. Earthshaker is generally used as a roaming support from what I see, usually roaming between Radiant's safe and mid lane, or Dire's safe and mid lane up top as well. Earthshaker just has the ability to just really affect a lot of team fights because he has a huge damage and it displaces teams because of the fissure. The other thing I really like about him too is that in early game, it's just a nice way to make sure that your mid has some additional time to buy himself to pull the creep momentum back if you need to. So we're most likely going to be seeing a roaming Earthshaker being played from It's Ogre, and we're seeing a Faceless Void being banned as well, which would be a very powerful pick against heroes like Death Prophet. So I can see a strategy there, but still in the meantime, I'm not quite sure what strategy may be coming out from both teams yet. I'm really going to be expecting that Prophet mid, but for Team Simple Machine, I'm expecting the Bristleback to go off lane, and actually expecting the Lion to go safe lane with whichever carry they end up picking. Again, we're seeing you're in a lot of these games here, you're really expecting to counterpick each other, so a lot of times teams will pick their main carry last to make sure that they aren't counterpicked or they have as much safe farm as possible. In the meantime, we're seeing a Darkseer come out as well as a Viper come out being banned as well. Viper is just a overall annoying hero to deal with, very tanky. Plus, if there's any DOT damage being done over time, it makes it very difficult to bring Viper down, just because Viper will constantly reapply the corrosive skin against your hero. So I can see them actually using that to chase down slower heroes like perhaps Earthshaker. Death Prophet could actually be chased down by the Viper as well because he offers so much tankiness. So that's actually a really good counter pick for them to make sure that Death Prophet has a bit of a safer time to going to mid. In the meantime, we're actually awaiting what Simple Machine's ban is going to be. Based on this lineup, I can't say. Maybe a Juggernaut? I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect really here. I'm seeing a Phantomancer being banned. Phantomancer is actually a good ban as well, because Phantomancer is just an absolute cancer once he gets his ultimate, and he's able to push lanes extremely quickly. And I think Simple Machine might be expecting a strong push lineup coming from Team It's Ogre. So it wouldn't surprise me if It's Ogre ends up picking a support that can push really hard, like a Venomancer, or perhaps a maybe a Lina. Lina would be good because she could transition to a semi-carry. We're seeing a Dazzle being picked up, which is a very, very scary combo to go with Bristleback, because Bristleback relies a lot on his Quill Sprays to do a lot of damage as well, and Quill Sprays can stack over and over and over again. So by having a Dazzle on team, he's basically able to shallow grave to Bristleback, have him run into middle team fights where he's going to be focused on, and each time he gets hit by a ton of damage, it's going to proc those Quill Sprays over and over again, and it's going to make Bristleback easy to go through and bring down other heroes. So that's actually a very, very strong combo to go to Bristleback. I think the only way to really counter this is to have a reliable silence. So Death Prophet's actually not a bad pick because she has a nice AoE silence that goes for 6 seconds. I think another good maybe support to pick up at this point might be a Disruptor, because the Bristleback is going to have to get up close range to do some damage as well, but we'll throw the kinetic field down will really help them. We are seeing a Sniper being picked up, so this is a little bit different. So we could see the Death Prophet actually still play mid and actually have the Sniper go off lane or the safe lane. Sniper is going to have to be very, very farm reliant to make sure he gets online as quickly as possible. But he is very annoying to deal with, especially if you are Bristleback, because the Bristleback will have to chase the Sniper down, and Sniper can essentially just zone him out, and hopefully his headshots passive comes into play and slows the Bristleback over and over again. Keeps him from getting away. And it looks like Team Simple Machine is actually going to try to counter the Sniper by having some chase down with the Storm Spirit. So based on this lineup right now, I'm still expecting the Bristleback to lane with the Dazzle. So most likely they're going to they're actually going to go safe lane rather than off lane. I'm expecting the Storm Spirit to go actually go mid, and perhaps actually even seeing a tri-lane with the line going up top with the Bristleback as well. In the meantime, for Team It's Ogre, I'm still expecting the Death Prophet to go mid. I really see a Sniper actually going safe lane, so that way because he's going to be the primary focus for Team Simple Machine, so they're going to want to try to bring him down as quickly as possible. And we're seeing a Centaur War Runner being picked up, which we could actually see that with Centaur War Runner going off lane. He's a great off laner just because it's incredibly tanky, but he's going to want to try to get a fast level 6, so it gives him and his team some quick initiation, some quick getaway as well. With the current lineup that we're seeing from Team Simple Machine, it might be a good idea to get some type of a carry with say a ton of burst damage or a ton of pure damage as well. So it might not be a bad idea to again really actually pick a Lina here for Team It's Ogre, because Lina is going to offer a ton of damage with her Laguna Blade, but she can actually get a Ag Scepter and actually turn that into pure damage, which would actually end up making the Bristleback a #1 target. The Storm Spirit is going to need to be locked down as quickly as possible, and right now they don't really have a ton of stuns, but the Death Prophet does have that nice ability to silence, so that would be actually a really strong lineup against the Storm Spirit. But Storm Spirit we're most likely to see a Storm Spirit actually go mid against the Death Prophet, and we are seeing the Disruptor being banned right there. Although I really feel like instead of picking the Centaur Runner up so quickly, I really feel like It's Ogre should have picked up the Disruptor, because it would have worked really well for Death Prophet and Earthshaker, because it would actually trap them into middle, and Earthshaker can actually go through and initiate, and it actually really handicapped Bristleback, especially if they come in. Plus, with the Storm Spirit on their team, by having a Disruptor, and you can basically glance the Storm Spirit back to where he was. So that's a powerful counter. And now we're seeing the Leshrac being picked up as well. Another really popular pick currently in the TI playoffs. Leshrac is just awesome with the new Octarine core item, because it gives him so much tankiness. You can basically jump into the middle of a team fight, activate all his abilities, and he just doesn't even need to right click. So with this change up here now, I'm actually going to be expecting the Bristleback actually going to go solo off lane, Storm Spirit mid, Leshrac safe lane perhaps. I don't know, this will be an interesting mix up, and also a Skywrath Mage. So we got essentially 2 mid heroes on Team It's Simple Machine, and we got three essential mids for Team It's Ogre. So this will be interesting to see how this lineup is going to work out. So let's get this match underway, and we'll see where we're at here. Alright, let's get this on the last hits, shall we? And let's take a look at the items. It looks like the Bristleback Leshrac is still trying to get connected to the game because they haven't purchased their items yet. So we're seeing fairly standard builds from everybody, getting their GG branches, and we're also seeing a smoke as well coming out from the Lion. So at this point, I think the best thing to do during the beginning games is make sure at least your team secures at least one rune, and if your team does decide to go secure for a rune, it's not a bad idea to send at least 3 heroes, perhaps 4, and if that's going to be the case, have one hero go to the opposite rune in case both teams have the same idea of grabbing the same location, or perhaps even having them scout out as soon as possible. So it looks like this line is actually going to wander out to the bottom rune. There may be a chance he may get caught off by the 3 heroes from Team It's Ogre. So let's see what happens here. It's going to be a very exciting rune pickup to see what happens, because we've got both teams actually trying to lock down this rune as quick as possible. Death Prophet's just waiting in there. Earthshaker and Centaur is just trying to secure a kill. I think it's safer for them to actually go for a bot rune, but no one's actually coming in, and looks like both runes actually are going to go to Team It's Ogre. So that didn't work out too well for them. I mean, and already they're immediately at a 200 gold disadvantage, and a 200 XP disadvantage as well. So let's check out our lane lineups. So we're actually seeing the Bristleback going Dazzle, bot, Storm Spirit going mid, with the Leshrac and the Lion actually going top lane against the Centaur off lane, and the Sniper getting a tri-lane with the Skywrath Mage and the roaming Earthshaker. So again, what we're going to see here is we're probably going to try to see the Sniper get as much farm off as quickly as possible. He is immediately going to get a take aim, so that way he has a little bit more of a safer range to farm. He's going to want to zone out the Bristleback as quickly as possible, because the Bristleback is going to be absolutely devastating if he's able to close a gap between Sniper and bring him down as quickly as possible. And being that Team It's Ogre's hardest carry is just going to be your Sniper, they need to make sure he stays safe as much as possible. And in the meantime, Team Simple Machine just really has, they're not traditional carries, but they're fairly good mids. That will transition later is actually going to be the Leshrac and the Storm Spirit, which will, Storm Spirit's going to offer, Leshrac's going to offer a ton of pushing power with his not his Maledict, his, what is it called? Edict. Thank you. Freaking Valve always naming all their abilities so similar to each other. As long as you guys know what I'm talking about, we should be good. So looks like the Storm Spirit is actually doing fairly well with his last hits, currently leading with 8 last hits and 3 denies. Actually zoning Death Prophet out. Death Prophet, ideally with your Q, Crypt Swarm actually doing a lot of damage. It's a really good idea to hit every creep, get them low as possible, and then throwing out the Crypt Swarm so that way you can secure those last hits. It makes it harder for the enemy team to actually deny more of your creep waves if possible. So we're seeing this Leshrac actually going in there on the Ogre, and he's going to throw the Edict down. I think they actually could have secured a kill if Lion had actually popped a spike there. I mean, they could actually chain stun onto the Centaur right now. I think they can actually secure a kill. We're seeing the spike, and we're coming through. And here comes the fight. It looks like the Centaur is actually going to be chased down here, and he's actually going to be able to get away. So that was actually a nice harass. In the meantime, Skywrath Mage, with his ward, I think he should actually put this ward down instead of just keeping it on him. Otherwise, there's no point to have the ward early game. And it looks like he's going to be chased down by the Dazzle with his Poison Touch, and Bristleback's actually going to try to saw him. Earthshaker comes in with a nice save with the Fisher, displaces them and separates them from chasing them. So that's a really nice save. In the meantime, we're actually seeing Sniper grab the Bounty Rune. He's going to need to get that, get his levels up as quickly as possible. Might not be a bad idea to get a poor man's shield at this point. He does get the Blades of Attack though, so that way he can do a little bit more right-click damage. In the meantime, still not a whole ton of action going on here, but it's just fairly standard on their farming. Let's see what items we got coming out for everybody here. So we need to see Earth Spike, and we're actually seeing another Spiked Earth coming from Leshrac. Leshrac's going to try to go in and harass the Centaur. Centaur is going to have a really rough lane here with 2 stuns to have to deal with. The Lion's actually setting up the timing for the Leshrac stun very well, which makes it difficult for him to deal with. Lion still has not popped his smoke yet, so he could actually use that to rotate mid later to go and secure the kill against the Death Prophet to help the Storm Spirit lead even more. In the meantime, Storm Spirit is actually doing very well last hitting, leading the pack right now. And Bristle and Earthshaker still farming back and forth. Let's take a look at their levels. It looks like the Earthshaker is actually going to be the lowest level, still level 1 right now. Isn't that great? Isn't the greatest thing. So he's going to really need to make use of this. He's going to need to pull this farm right here. Not sure why he's standing still. Perhaps there's a lag issue? Yeah, it looks like he might have lagged out because he could have grabbed that stack there at 53 seconds and then pulled a creep camp right here and hopefully get some farm. So I have no idea what had happened there. But that didn't go too well for them. I think he should have pulled at 53. So I'm not sure if there was just some disconnect. In the meantime, we're actually seeing the bottle coming out for the Storm Spirit. That's actually going to help him stay in lane much longer. But of course, he just barely got the bottle. Death Prophet's had the bottle for quite a bit. And we're actually seeing both rooms being claimed already. We're actually seeing the line come down to the mid with a double damage. And he's actually going to go through and spike the Death Prophet. And she's going to go down. First blood being secured by the Storm Spirit. So it's a nice kill. And that's actually going to put the Storm Spirit quite a bit ahead. So that's actually a nice lane rotation from the line coming up top. In the meantime, the Leshrac is going to farm. He's already got the Arcane Boots up. And Centaur is going to actually have some decent sustain with the Tranquil Boots, which he'll definitely need to go against a Leshrac and Lion. In the meantime, we're seeing Zanaso playing the Skywrath Mage here, actually trying to zone the Bristleback out, keep them out of range. But he's going to be chased down by Bristleback. Sniper's going to come in and try to chase him down. Earth Spirit comes with a Knife Fisher, but unfortunately doesn't save him because of the Quill Spray from the Bristleback. Unfortunately, just mistimed Fisher. I think it was just a little bit earlier. He could have been able to save the Skywrath Mage, but it was still a fairly good attempt. I think they almost brought down the Bristleback. Meanwhile, Bristleback's actually going to go through and retreat back and just go back through farming. And he's got a Ring of Health already to just keep his sustain in lane as much as possible. Again, he doesn't really need to do a whole lot of burst damage to fight him off, but he does want to stay in the lane as much as possible, soak up the experience. I really feel like a Magic Wand right now, or a Magic Stick would be a great pickup item for either... Skywrath Mage already has it, but I really feel like the Earthshaker and Sniper really should get it, because if you're going against a Bristle and a Dazzle, there's going to be a ton of spells popped, especially from the Bristle. That'll give you some nice charges and a lot of sustain. In the meantime, we're seeing the line actually come through and rotate bot, and we're seeing a center pop out, and it looks like the Death Prophet is actually going to go through and try to push his lane as quickly as possible. She's popping her ultimate. And looks like they're going to actually try to take that top tier lane. In the meantime, Storm Spirit is actually going to go through and farm this. Looks like he's trying to rush an Orchid as quickly as possible. Death Prophet is just trying to make the most use out of her ultimate to do as much damage to the tower as she can. Unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot of spirits to come out from her ult at level 1. So generally, you see people either max the Q, or in some cases, people actually max their E if they are going for a quick tower push. So, looks like we're calling for a lane rotation here. And go rotate back, and looks like the Dire actually put an observer ward there. It's going to block out that camp, really make pulling harder for the Earth Spirit. So he's not going to do a whole lot right now. So he's actually going to go through for a Fisher down to delay the creeps and keep them from moving, and hopefully pull that creep wave back just a little bit, because they're a little bit extended farther than they'd like, especially with the Sniper needing to play safe. He does get his morbid mask up already to get some sustain in lane. And in the meantime, looks like the Storm Spirit already has his Oblivion Staff up, and it's pretty cool. And just going to rush that Orchid as quick as possible. Cloak coming out from the Centaur to get some magic resistance against the Leshrac in the line, which is actually a really nice pickup. And ideally, he's probably going to want to transition that to a Veil Discord, I think. Or it might be a pipe. Sorry, I think it might be a pipe. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright. So let's take a look and see what everybody's net worth is currently at right now. Looks like the Sorcerer's actually doing fairly well. The Sniper's actually farming fairly decently. He's getting a lot of protection from his two supports here. Although they're going to need to watch out, because it looks like there's a nice lane rotation coming from the bottom lane between the for Dire Radiant. This is actually really nice. The Bristleback's actually going to go through and farm his camp right here, but what's nice is that whenever you have people attempt to gank you and they're not able to pull off a successful gank, it basically wastes time and resources and allows you to get more farm. So sometimes it actually works out really, really well. In the meantime, the sniper is just farming away. He's going to need to get some items online as quickly as possible so that we can offer as much as he can in team fights. He is level 6 though, so if they're able to bring down one of the heroes down, they should be able to actually get a kill off. We're seeing actually the Centaur War Runner being brought down earlier from the Leshrac, and I actually missed that pull there. So it looks like the line's actually doing a pull, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. You guys usually want to stack this easy camp and then pull it into your creep so that way you can not affect the crave momentum. But it looks like the Leshrac actually was able to utilize that and farm that up very quickly. And I think he's already got a soul ring, so he's going to try to go for some mana regen as soon as possible so that way he can offer a lot of team fight when he gets in. In the meantime, it looks like the Skyrath Mage might be trying to get at least a Mill Talisman to get him some stats because he is being chased down pretty quickly by the Leshrac and a Dazzle. And Dazzle's actually going to go and rotate mid. He's going to throw a rune down there. Maybe stay in lane. Actually, I think they are expecting something to happen, so he didn't stay there for the 10-minute rune. So it looks like Skyrath Mage being replaced by Zanaso here. He's going to take the 10-minute rune, and it looks like the Death Prophet's going to try to secure his rune, and no, he's going to walk right past it. Sword Spirit's actually going to take that rune right from him. I don't know why the Death Prophet walked past that. She could really use that to regen her mana, so that way she could actually go through another push. But her ult is up, so she may try to go for another push and bring down some towers to get her team some much needed tower gold. Sniper in the meantime is actually going to go through and try to just harass the Bristleback out of lane while still pulling some last hits. I really don't think he needs to retreat that far back because he has really long range with his take aim, and that could actually do a lot of damage. And it looks like we have a Storm Spirit actually coming in and going for the gank against the Skyrath Mage. Skyrath Mage is actually going to go down. Storm Spirit is actually going to go through. Death Prophet coming in, throwing in down her ulti. She's going to try to take down the Storm Spirit. In the meantime, Dazzle's actually going to Shadow Grave himself, so she's going to need to refocus her attention back to the Bristleback. It looks like Bristleback looks like the Dazzle does get brought down, and then the Death Prophet gets brought down as well. Unable to take down Bristleback, unfortunately. Sniper does secure the kill with his snipe. So it looks like we got a 2 for 2. Fairly even exchange. So, but it looks like as of right now, Dire side is actually in the lead with more gold and XP. In the meantime, the Centaur is just trying to get. I'm not sure what he's trying to farm at this point. He's probably going to need a blink as soon as possible so he can initiate. But Leshrac's just having an easy time farming. Simple line. I think at this point the Leshrac should be able to do fairly well by himself. It wouldn't be a bad idea for the line to actually go bot, so that way he can support his team. And he does have a finger up as well. And we do see the line actually TPing bottom. Storm Spirit's actually going to go through and try to focus down the sniper. And we see a really nice fissure from the Earthshaker. But unfortunately, Storm Spirit had enough mana to pop his ultimate and go through and take this sniper out, which does bring him down. In the meantime, looks like we've got a smoke coming out from the line. Line's actually going to come right behind the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker is actually going to catch him, and then he doesn't get revealed. So it looks like we are going to have another lane rotation, but Death Prophet's actually going to go through refarm back mid since we're missing. And Line's actually, I'm not sure what Line's doing. I think he's actually just trying to scout. Earthshaker doesn't have a lot of choice right now, so he's going to have to stay safe. Not doing so well. He is currently only level 4. I believe he's the lowest level on the team. Skyrath Mage still does not have his ult up, which would be absolutely great in a team fight, especially if there's a nice stun that goes along with it. We're seeing some observer rewards coming out from the Earthshaker, which is sorely needed for the Radiant team because they don't have a whole lot of vision on their jungle side, which is making it very hard for the sniper to farm safely. Because had they had the wards here earlier, the sniper might have been able to be a little more safe in terms of getting away or seeing the Storm Spirit being missing, chasing after them. So Storm Spirit is actually going to secure a bounty rune here, and Skyrath Mage is actually going to rotate up top. In the meantime, we actually see Bristleback going through and chasing down the Earthshaker. Earthshaker doesn't have a whole lot of choice. I mean, he's going to go down anyways. He needs to throw down the Fissure. Does throw down the Fissure. He's able to actually stun him, but he's going to be brought down by a Krill Spray. And Sniper is going to be chased down Bristleback. A nice clutch Shallow Grave coming from Dazzle to the Bristleback. Keeps him alive, to able to safe dive that tower. And Sniper and Earthshaker do go down in that last team fight. getting some nice momentum for Team Simple Machine here. Dazzle had a really nice shallow grave there. I think the sniper was actually trying to turn around and mad mode him and try to take him out. He wasn't able to pull that off. Meanwhile, Death Prophet actually rotating bottom. She does throw a nice successful silence down. She's actually trying to use her spirits to bring down the Dazzle as quickly as possible. Dazzle does have enough mana, but she's going to get bursted down. And Death Prophet's going to bring down the Bristleback, which was a much needed kill for Team It's Ogre. So it actually went really well for them. She does have her mana back up. At this point, she just needs to run away long enough to have the spirits come back to her, but she needs to watch out for the Storm Spirit that's going to rotate bottom, and he does see her. He's going to catch her and brings her down, takes down the Mega Kill Streak, and he's able to get a nice kill secure and some additional bonus gold. He does have his Orchid up already, which will be very, very powerful against Death Prophet and also Skywrath Mage. Meanwhile, he's also going to secure his bounty rune. This is just some nice runes for the Storm Spirit here, getting his farm up extremely quickly. And we're seeing the Skywrath Mage actually coming up top, placing the Observer Ward. And he's deciding if we should take that death damage rune. He does grab it because there's no one nearby. And it looks like we have the Earthshaker still staying out of range. I mean, at this point, he doesn't need to stay that far back. I think he should stand up closer so that way he can be within range of the creep, so that way he can get some additional damage, because as of right now, he's not even level 6 yet, and they're going to need the Echo Slam once they get into some of those team fights. In the meantime, we're actually seeing the Leshrac being rotated back up top along with the Skywrath Mage and the Centaur. So, Skywrath Mage with double damage here. Missed another chance to stack the creep wave, but that's perfect fine because it's not their team wave. And he's actually going to be caught by the Observer Ward from the Leshrac. Leshrac's actually going to cast the Edict and brings down the Skywrath Mage. This fight is not going well. We're seeing a Storm Spirit come in and pop in as well, actually going through and try to knock down the Centaur. Centaur's going to actually use his ultimate to try to get away. Leshrac is going to try to catch the Spike there. Centaur barely escapes. That was a very, very close kill. Meanwhile, the Storm Spirit is actually having a very good game, currently leading at 5 kills and 0 deaths. And looks like we're at... Looks like they got about 3,000 gold and XP lead. It looks like Team Dire is actually trying to bring down the top tier 1 tower for them. Not a whole lot they can do there. So they're going to have to go get some of these lanes rotated out. It might not be a bad idea to actually have Earthshaker go mid for just a little bit so he can get this quick level 6, get some levels up as quickly as possible, so that way he can offer a little bit more in team fights. He is going to need that Blink Dagger go, so that way he can actually jump into the middle fights and get the Echo Slam off. Meantime, Centaur is actually going to rotate out, have him go mid, and Sniper is actually going to go back to bottom, and he's going to have to run because he doesn't have any other heroes there. He's going to re-engage with the Death Prophet and get those lanes pushed out. At this point, with them harassing the Sniper this much, Sniper, I believe, should go mid, so that way he can get some safer farm up. In the meantime, the Bristleback does have his Vanguard up. He should be transitioning this into a Crimson Guard fairly soon, but that Vanguard in these low early levels is going to give him a lot of takiness, especially against something like a Sniper who has a relatively weak right click at the beginning of the game. We're seeing a Death Prophet cast her ult. She's going to go through and try to take them down. Storm Spirit's going to jump right in and throw his sports out, and he's actually going to zip in and take the kill against the Death Prophet. And Storm Spirit's actually going to go through and chase the Sniper. Sniper's going to try to get away, and he is going to get bursted down by the Storm Spirit. We got 2 kills coming down for Death Prophet and Sniper. Absolutely huge. This is not going too well for Team It's Ogre, so they're going to actually try to push down mid tower to get some tower gold secure for their team as soon as possible. In the meantime, Storm Spirit and Lion Bristleback are going to take down the tier 1 tower, and they're going to have a lane rotation going back up top. Leshrac's just been getting free farm this entire time. I'm not sure what item he's currently building. He does have his arcane boots and soaring up. I think it's a good idea to get at least some type of a bloodstone, or perhaps yeah, really Bloodstone first before anything else, because Bloodstone's going to give you enough sustain to cast your ultimate and then transition that to either a Crimson Core or a Ag Scepter. That's going to offer a ton of damage. Bristleback in the meantime actually getting the first component, a mech being built. It does have a buckler on the back at base, but it looks like the Lion's actually got the courier coming his way with additional wards and some smoke. Looks like the Bristleback's actually going to go through and start farming the Radiant jungle. And Skywrath Mage is trying to do what he can. He's going to throw just trying to harass the Bristleback. Bristleback doesn't even care. His Quill Spray is just going to shrug off that additional damage. So he's just so tanky, make it very, very difficult for the other teams to bring him down. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, because it looks like a Dazzle is actually building a mechanism as well, because he's already got the components already. So it looks like we have 2 bucklers So I'm not sure what the train of thought was, unless... Oh wait, I lied, sorry. Bristleback is going for Crimson Guard, that's why he's having to get the buckler. That's why there's 2 bucklers there. We're seeing a sentry ward come out from the line. He does see the observer ward here, does bring it down, and in the meantime, looks like the Bristleback actually got bursted down by the Death Prophet and Sniper, which was a much needed kill. Sniper in the meantime actually getting the Mithril Hammer out. Looks like he's actually trying to get the Maelstrom, if I were to guess, or perhaps a BKB. No, I actually I see Maelstrom over to BKB, although BKB would be fairly useful against their magic heavy team. With, for example, the Storm Spirit just jumping in right there and actually taking down Sniper, and Sniper is actually going to be bursted down by the Storm Spirit there. Gets chased down, not a whole lot he can do. Death Prophet tries to rotate mid and tries to bring him down, but Storm Spirit's just too hard to catch, especially with his Ball Lightning. And in the meantime, Centaur does get a kill off of the Lestrak, which is a much needed kill as well. And he does have Blink Dagger. At this point, since he's got Blink Dagger, he should really go through and rotate bot to help his team. There's not a whole lot he can really do up here top by himself anymore. So, looks like he's going to get a TP portal. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's actually going to keep on farming. In the meantime, looks like Team Simple Machine is actually going to try to signal for a gank. Looks like they might be backing off. In the meantime, Storm Spirit's actually going to the secret shop. I think he's grabbing a... Might be Scotty, I believe. Could be Scotty or Sheepstick. Most likely Sheepstick. In the meantime, Lion's actually going to be caught out by a Death Prophet. He's going to get a triple silence on him from the Skywrath Mage. And there is a Yule Scepter that comes out, and he's actually able to successfully live through that. And it looks like the Death Prophet actually Yule Sceptered the Lion. He could have gotten the kill, but the Yule Scepter actually ends up saving him. And the Lion actually gets away. Lestrak's going to come right back in and finish the job against the Death Prophet. Death Prophet goes down, along with the Earthshaker, and the Centaur actually pops in as well to try to take out the Skywrath Mage, but he's not able to do the job. The whole team comes right back in. Storm Spirit is actually going through and chase down the Centaur. Skywrath Mage is going to have to back up. He doesn't have a whole lot he can offer the team right now. Sniper is going to have to back off as well. That team fight did not go well for Team EZG. Looks like a 2,300 gold exchange, unfortunately. A lot of gold in the favor of Team Simple Machine and 3 hero deaths as well. It looks like they are going to push down the tier 2 tower. And it looks like it's a 9-18. Team Simple Machine currently in the lead. He does have his Crimson Guard back up already, and it's going to make his team extremely tanky. Plus, with Dazzle throwing out the Shallow Grave, it's just going to basically make the Bristleback the front man and go through and engage the enemy team as quick as possible, and then Storm Spirit coming in and just finishing the rest. Storm Spirit does go through and secure Bounty Rune. Very nice rune for him. It's actually getting him to jump his Sheepstick as quick as possible. And the tier 2 tower does go down. Storm Spirit is actually going to try to bring down tier 1 tower as well right now, and it looks like the creeps are auto-pushing the top tower for Team Dire. So we're seeing a lot of gold advantage coming their advantage right now. Centaur's going to go through and try to focus on the Bristleback. Bristleback's actually going to pop his Crimson Guard. He does get Shallow Grave. He's getting ready to TP. He tries to get out. Earthshaker jumps in, tries to Echo Slam him. Does not get the kill, but Sniper does get the snipe. And unfortunately, Crimson Guard actually saves him. Dazzle with a nice clutch save. Keeps the Bristleback alive and does not get the kill for Sniper, unfortunately. And these fights are not going well right now for the Radiant team. Bristleback is just so incredibly strong. Just having that Dazzle that just keeps him alive for such a long time, making it incredibly difficult. In the meantime, it looks like the Lestrak's about to get his Bloodstone finish, but looks like the Central came in and tried to get the stun. Lestrak took advantage of that and actually went through and throw down the Spiked Earth and does stun the Centaur for them and actually saves the Bristleback's life. Bristleback currently sitting at 7 kills, 3 deaths. Storm 7 and 0. So it looks like the Bristleback and Storm are actually leading the pack in terms of net worth. They're doing fairly well. Current XP and gold advantage is 10,000 and 7,500 for Team Simple Machine. They're having quite a nice opening game right now for Team 2. It's like the Storm Spirit actually does have an invisible rune. I think he's actually going to catch this Death Prophet out. Maybe? Looks like he does. He's actually going to snipe the Courier and brings the Courier down. That is a huge loss for Team EZG. That's it's going to really put their teammates behind in terms of needing to get the items they have that they need to get. And they're just losing a lot of map vision. I mean, we do see a ward up here on a cliff, but really they don't have a lot of map control right now, which is making it very difficult for anybody to farm safely, especially their Sniper. Sniper is going to need to get himself online as quickly as possible. He does get the Maelstrom out already. He's going to need some more additional damage just to make sure he wins those team fights, but it's really important that he stays in the far back now because Storm Spirit is going to go through and Ball Lightning him and focus him as soon as possible. So it looks like Scout Mage is getting himself positioned. Yule Scepter coming out. We're actually seeing, looks like that was going to be engagement. It looks like they backed it off. So it looks like we have a team fight coming out here. I think it's because it caught Team Simple Machine approaching them, so it chased them off and they had to run away. Sniper needs to get a little bit farther back. He's actually going to go through and at least get this farm here. And Dazzle's actually going to throw down his ult, make sure his teams get some nice survivability, and makes them extremely tanky. Death Prophet's going to go through a proper ult to try to bring down some of the enemy heroes. And she's going to go through and actually chase down the enemy Lion. Is she going to be able to bring him down? Lion does go down here, but she's got the entire, she's got Leshrac and Bristleback chasing after her, along with Dazzle, and she is going to be stopped. Scarab Mage is going to throw down his ulti. He's going to bring down the Leshrac. Centaur's going to go in and try to take down the Bristleback. He's going to throw his ultimate out, try to get away. Sniper is going to be tagged by his nasal, by the Sticky Goo, and Bristleback just warpathing on his way over to the Bristleback. Sorry, Bristleback's going to be chasing down a Sniper and brings him down, and that was really grisly death animation. It looks like the Sniper and the Scout Mage actually get chased down right there as well, and only a Earthshaker and the Centaur Warrunner are still left alive. Earthshaker is having a really rough game right now, really rough start. Only has boots and a magic wand right now. Doesn't have the critical mana sustaining items that he needs to make sure he gets a successful combo off. In the meantime, they're actually going to go through and push down this top tower. The Edict is just doing so much damage to the tower. Just push the tower out as quickly as possible. And we're going to see a tier 2 going down for top for Radiant. And we're going to go through and actually get the mid tower as well. They were just losing a ton of map control. In the meantime, Team Simple Machine has not lost any towers yet. And it looks like they all going to have a lane rotation to go back through the mid and try to take down the mid tower as well. They're going to need to organize some type of team defense. Scratch Mage, in the meantime, I think he's waiting for the courier to respawn to get some items, but he's going to have to respawn here with the entire team right at their front lines. They're going to have to try to get away. Sniper going to get fingered by a Lion. He's going to get hit, and he's going to run back. He does manage to get away, but it looks like the Death Prophet's going to take the loss. Earthshaker comes in and tries to get an Echo Slam off. Unfortunately, the Crimson Guard does get popped. It does so much damage. Scrap Mage goes down. Earthshaker goes down with the Death Prophet, and not a whole lot they can actually really do to defend this mid tower. They should really pop a glyph, but not much they can do right now. It's 12-27, and we got an early GG being called by the Skywrath Mage, and it looks like Game 2 ends up going to Team Simple Machine, who goes through and invests this next round of the losers bracket, and we see Team EZG being eliminated out of the tournament along with Team Feeder Mid. Great gameplay by Team Simple Machine. They did really well on responding teams, and Storm Spirit just had so much chasing power, made it very difficult for the Radiant team to respond to him. He's just so incredibly mobile, and they didn't really have much of a silence outside of Death Prophet, and unfortunately the Sniper just got jumped one too many times to be able to successfully get online, so it made it a very difficult farming game for the Sniper, and the roaming Earthshaker just wasn't able to really fully utilize his roaming capabilities to secure any kills for mid lane. So anyways, this is Zero to Infinity from Crowd Control. Thanks again for watching, guys. This video will be uploaded soon. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Look forward to casting the next match with hopefully Dustin Cook. And we got our next matches being played between Team Solar's Wrath and Backdoor Insurance. Have a good day, guys.